Good day, everyone. Good day, good day. I'm here with my little girls. We're just reading stories, fed them, changed them, read some stories. Uh-huh. Say hi. Uh-huh. Anyway, I want to make this video as a response. I'm going to go here to the other room and read this message I got last night from a fellow subscriber. Alright. What's this guy doing here? Okay. Let me read this guy's message real quick. Alright. Let's see. Username TCS Dog. Alright, I've been watching your videos and I'm currently trying to learn Chinese. I got the Teach Yourself book with 2 CDs, but don't have the technique down or understand how to use the book the right way. I am also dealing with the issue of not having a lot of foreigners to practice with, basically a few restaurants. I thought about practicing, but I would probably be the only one doing that in my area, which everyone says I'm weird for learning, and they tell me if you don't use it, you lose it. Even if someone learn a language, what's the point if I can't communicate it? I don't know. I've been practicing with myself at the moment. I see you have a lot of motivation, which I think is great. I also realize that you have a lot of opportunities to speak with locals. This is an asset, I don't have in my area. Also, my college doesn't even offer foreign language course. I don't know what to do. Do you have any advice? Also, what is your take on this technique for learning? Okay, that's the link he sent me. I watched. Okay. All right. Yeah, you're. Let me see. Yeah, the book. I made several videos on how you need to go about utilizing the book. This is part of the FLR technique. I'm going to look for those videos and send them to you if you haven't seen them yet. So, let me see. Where should I start? So you said you only have a few restaurants in your area to practice. I'm not sure where you're from. You didn't indicate your location, but I think what you could do is probably go to Google and then type in your city and then type in like Chinese restaurants or just Chinese, maybe Chinese markets or Asian markets, and see what comes up. If you don't mind driving, I would like drive to a different place, maybe I don't know, to a different county. Search the counties in your area and find those. Look for those places like Chinese restaurants and markets. Let's see here. I mean, I can't believe there. Like I said, I don't know where you are, but it's very hard to believe that you can't find Chinese people to practice with, because like I said before, Chinese people are everywhere. And this is why I said, like, out of all the languages, many of the languages out there, Chinese, definitely, if you're a learner of Chinese, there's really no excuse. There's really no excuse to not pick up this language and get practice, because they're everywhere. I mean, you can go out to the country and find Chinese people. It's just so random. So I'm pretty sure you can find several restaurants. You just have to do some searching. So probably go to, like I said, go to Google and search for Chinese restaurants, Asian markets, and I'm sure that you'll be able to find them. So, yeah. So you sent me a link, and this is the main reason why. I mean, I was going to send you a message anyway, concerning using the book. But I wanted to kind of talk about this video you sent me. There's this guy, I can't remember the name of his channel. I'll post a link to his channel so you guys can go check it out. But he basically he lives in Taiwan. I'm not sure how long he's been in Taiwan, and I think he's like a motorcyclist or something like that, biker. and he makes videos on his bike. Now I haven't watched any of his other videos. His channel is huge. He has a lot of subscribers and channel views and all that good stuff. But I haven't really sat down and watched his other videos. But I watched the video that you sent me, that particular video I watched, and I think I want to just talk about something that he said in the video. I think the video was good because he gave some good advice. But the first thing that I noticed that he said that was pretty, I don't know, I didn't really like it, was he stated that he said you shouldn't study a language before going to the country. That's stupid. He's basically saying people who study languages before going to the country are stupid. I don't want to put any words in his mouth, but that's basically what he's saying. Studying a language before going to the country is stupid, and I have to disagree with him on that. But everything else he said, he gave good advice. He said that what did he say? What else would he say? He said something about he was talking about fluency. He said how when he went to the country, he just asked people certain things, and he learned a couple words a day. He also said don't try to memorize 10 words or 20 plus words, which I agree with. You don't want to try to memorize a lot of vocabulary in one day because you're going to forget it anyway. Those things he said I totally agree with. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about this while studying is stupid. Now, everybody is different. We all know different folks, different strokes. We all know that. Everybody is different. Everybody learns differently. Now, you got to take in consideration, like, there are people out there who don't plan to go to these other countries. They just enjoy learning languages. They just enjoy picking them up. It's just a passion of theirs. They don't really have any intentions on going to the country. So for those people who are doing that, they have to study the language. I mean, there really is no other way. I mean, you can find they can find some natives and ask them questions, but it's not the same as studying, because you got to consider the script, learning how to read, and all that good stuff. And someone who is who is truly passionate of language learning, they will take all aspects seriously. The reading, writing, all that good stuff. But if you're just interested in speaking, then I think that the approach that this guy was talking about, I mean, you can take that approach because you don't have to read anything. I mean, if you don't want to read, then why not just, ask people certain questions and, learn that way. So I like I said, maybe he didn't mean to say that, but it's not stupid to study a language before going to a country. Now, I think that if that approach that he took, I think if it was something like this would be like an exception. Like if let's say it was planned to just go to another country tomorrow or something like that, like, oh, we're leaving this week, we're going to the country, we're going to Taiwan tomorrow, we want to be in Taiwan tomorrow, then that type of approach will probably be suitable, because I don't have time to really read anything. I don't have time to study. So perhaps I'll just wait and go over there and ask people questions and learn like that at the beginning. But if my trip is planned like maybe a year later, let's say next year around this time, then yeah, I definitely want to study the language. I definitely want to get the resources and study it, because by that time I will have reached an intermediate level. And when I reach an intermediate level, when I get to the country, I'm gonna be so familiar with the language, it's not gonna take any time to pick stuff up. My level is gonna skyrocket when I get there. So yeah, we have to kind of look at those. So, like I said, perhaps the guy didn't mean it in the way that I thought he meant it, but I don't think studying a language is stupid, because we have people who are just scholars. They just like to research. They just like to read. There are people out there who don't even want to know how to speak. They want to learn how to read the language. So, I just wanted to bring that up and address that. So, I mean, if you want to take that approach, go ahead. It all depends on your goals. If you just want to know how to speak the language, then I guess the approach will work. But you have to find someone who is patient. Find a native who is very, very patient, and who will be willing to give you, answer these questions for you, and then you have to practice pronouncing it. If you're not pronouncing it correctly, then you have to get a native to correct you and all that good stuff. It can be a bit of a hassle. So, yeah, like I said, if that's what you want to do, you can. There was something else I wanted to say. What was it? Dang, just slipped my mind. So studying like that before you go to a country. Okay, studying before going to a country. Oh man, I just forgot what I was about to say. Oh, but yeah, I don't think it's stupid to study a language. And like I said, if you want to get to a pretty good level before you get there, then I would say get the resources, study them, and and then once you get there, you'll be very familiar with the language, and you won't be totally lost. So once again, it all goes back to goals. It's all about our goals, what you want to achieve, what do you want out of it. But I think like, oh yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like reading too, like reading. If you can't see, that's going to be a problem. If you can't read the language, then you can't get into reading books and literature and stuff. You can't read novels. I'm sorry, not literature. You can't get into reading novels. And when you get into reading novels and children's books, all that good stuff, that will actually increase your level and make you better in the language. So if you just learn that way, the way the guy explained, you're kind of putting a limit on yourself. You won't be able to read anything, especially Chinese. You want to expose yourself to Chinese at an early stage. You don't want to wait because the language is already tough as far as the written. So yeah, you gotta consider that. That's what you'll be missing out on if you don't learn how to read. Then you can't enjoy the novels, and you won't go to another level because as we know, reading is very important, and that's what's going to increase your vocab. So that's it. I just wanted to make this response to this guy, and like I said, I'll post a link to the other guy's video so you guys can go check it out and give us your thoughts. What do you think about this guy's method? I mean, he says that he went over to Taiwan. He said he didn't have any knowledge of the country. He didn't even know. What did he say? Oh, dang! I'm just remembering stuff I wanted to say. He said that before he went to Taiwan, he didn't even know about Taiwan. He said that he thought there were. He said he thought there were like black people in Taiwan or something. He said, and I mean, he said he just had no knowledge whatsoever. Now, one last thing that I wanted to mention about this whole thing is you also have to consider the customs and the way people, the way people do things in that country. And when you have resources and books like, language books, they kind of go through cultural aspects. They share the culture. They tell you things that you need to know, you need to expect when you go over to this country. I can't remember how many languages. Like I've seen so many advices, like so much advice on what you need to do when you go to this different country. Now, if you don't study the language before you go or don't know anything about the country, then you may go over to the country and there may be some things that you're doing and it may be offensive to the locals, and you may not understand, like, wow, what's wrong with this guy? Did I say anything wrong? Did I look at him wrong? So that's another thing, like the customs. That's why it's important to study a language before you go to the other country. And we've had a lot of issues there's just been a lot of issues of people going to these other countries not having knowledge in the language, and they misunderstood certain things and stuff. So that is another thing. So that's it. Like I said, I'm gonna post a link to. Sorry guys, I got cut off. Someone just tried to call me. Like I was going to say, I'm going to post a link to this guy's video in the description area. You guys go check it out. Share your thoughts. What do you guys think about this guy's method? Do you think it's stupid studying a language before going to the country? I highly doubt that most of you guys will agree with what he said. But anyway, thanks for viewing, and I look forward to any comments or video responses.